Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the official coverage of Rainlight Racing's LMU series. It is round 6. We are at Cota here tonight. I'm Davo. J-Man right by my side. How are you doing, my friend?
Evening, Davo. Evening, viewers. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, as you said, round 6, Circuit of the Americas. Bloody, what is it, 5.5 kilometres, 20 turns. Use a big circuit, this one. And
It is.
we'll ask a fair bit of the drivers tonight out there with obviously this track being modelled off of various different parts of racetracks throughout the world. It's got their very own, Silverstone section in there. Obviously turns 3 up to 7, replicating Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, various different parts of the circuit. So really challenging. Couple of good high-speed sections. Obviously out of turn 11 down to 12. Good chance to grab a drink for the drivers and stretch the legs on these GT3 cars and make every bit of around 255 k an hour in race trim. They'll be seeing speeds upwards of that. And lap times looking like the practice session for the viewers that just tuning in. We did see around 5 of the 19 car field drop into the 2-minute 7 bracket. So Porsches look particularly strong out there tonight. So that's really good for the likes of Gunther, Rowan and co. And also our championship leader Nathan Bewley looking very, very fast in the Porsche. So all the tight twists and turns seem to be favouring the Porsche out there tonight. And, obviously, once they get out there, once this qualifying session's done, Davo, it's obviously a lot different when you've got someone side by side. But looking forward to this one, as you mentioned, round 6. So getting towards the business end of the championship. We talked to the drivers post-race and obviously podium interviews, and there's a couple of guys that are downplaying that. I just feel like that's maybe their way of dealing with the pressure. But hey, look, we're going to build this thing up over the coming weeks as this thing starts to head towards the really pointy end of this championship, as we see the first initial flying laps get underway. And I did see, I think it was Shane Fodderdo went out first. Whether or not he pulled over for anybody, no, I think he is the first guy out there on track. Good to see some names back in the series, namely Louis van der Venter. Haven't seen Louis on track for a while, and some new names to ring in as well. Mr. Roo, Hayden Tegg being another one, and Rob Fox, another driver to make the grid. So yeah, representing the Ferrari is Rob, so that'll be good for Sam Wozniak to have another one of the stable out there. And also Mr. Roo, a BMW, and then I think it was Hayden Tegg rocking one of the Lambos, so another one out there to support the likes of Lily Glass, who's peddling a Lambo as well. So obviously LMU getting a little bit of an update of recent times. Saw the Lexus come into play and the Lamborghini, and so Lexus being Louis van der Venter. Got the Tokyo taxi out there. Good to see Bobby Louise tuning in. To see you in the chat box there, and also Brisket and Lily. Lily always tunes in. I don't know how she finds the time, Davo.
Steering the Lamborghini and tuning in. There is actually a few guys that do it, and well done to them, because I'm flat out multitasking here, sitting at my my control panel here. So well done to those guys. As we have,
we're not far away from seeing our first indicative times as Shane Fodderdo comes around the penultimate corner. So we'll see whether Shane banks a low 8 or goes straight into the 7s. How good was his first flying lap? 208.7 for a first flying lap for Shane, and Gunther Rowe betters that with an 8.3. So pretty good first off times. Crossy goes to the top now. He does slightly better than Nathan Bewley on a 208.2. So weights going in there. Cota in there with a 9.3. So I feel like they'll warm to this. Oh, as we just see. Sorry, I picked up on Shane Fodderdo. Very, very loose up at that roller coaster I just mentioned. That Maggots Beckett style turns 3, 4, 5,
yeah,
6 and 7. And then they go through this blind left-hand kink there at turn 10. I think it's relatively flat chat there. All the way hard on the brakes down to 11. But I was watching some telemetry earlier, Davo, and could see once they come out of that rising turn 1 and then get on the gas, they are absolutely flat stick all the way up the gearbox to 5th gear. No lift through the first 3 turns, and I think it's not till they get to around turn 4 or 5 they actually just dab the brake, come down a gear back to 4th gear, and then feather the car through there. So that's an incredibly quick sector of racetrack. And I was looking at the overall times, given that we're seeing a terminal speed down the big back straight around 255. I think before they make turn 11, after they come through that blind turn 10, they're still getting 225.
It's not too shabby, is it?
Yep. So it's a very quick piece of racetrack. So provisionally Crossy, Davo, to the top.
Yeah, Crossy showing some great form over the last couple of weeks, and looks like he's firing on all cylinders again here tonight. Look, you did mention earlier how hot the Porsches are looking here at Cota, though. So, yeah, he'll have his work cut out for him with the likes of Bewley and Gunther Rowe.
Yeah. Now, what did Bewley just do? Bewley just did a 7.3. I was going to call a 7.2 for pole position here tonight. But given that we've still got 8 minutes of this qualifying session, I might be a little shy. Maybe it's a touch lower than that, because, yeah, Bewley's just banked at 2:07.341.
Ooh, that's quick.
I thought my target time prediction was around about a 7.2, but I've got a feeling himself, or potentially even, I'm going to say it, picked up on some data there. Matty Clark, I think Matty Clark's good for a similar number, so watch for that car to come through the field.
Oh, look, we were just talking about how on point Crossy's been over the last couple of weeks, but Matty Clark on another level, J-Man. And yes, we would expect to see nothing less than the lightning fast pace from him once again tonight as he starts to round his way up into this final complex of corners here and up to the final corner here. The finish line is actually just out of this corner here. Start line's a little bit further up, but watch this space here. Clark
P2, just around about a 10th and a quarter behind Nathan Bewley, so he'll be happy enough to be the front row at this point of time, but these guys are super competitive. I want that top spot, that bragging rights of grabbing the pole here.
Oh, you know it. Crossland responding to these times, no doubt, and coming through the back end of the circuit here and up to the final corner as well. So we will just keep an eye on the McLaren.
Yeah, it's funny. So watching the cars, Davo, Crossy looked to me, how did he go? He did just slightly improve a 7.8. He was in there on an 8.0, so he's gone that one better than Shane Fodderdo to be on the second row with Gunther Rowe, who also in a Porsche going very, very well tonight, 7 with a 6 for Gunther Rowe. The Porsches look so stable here. I just picked up on Matty Clark, who's super, super fast, but that Aston really does look nervous through the roller coaster of Sector 1, whereas the Porsche looks relatively stable. I picked up on Crossy earlier in the evening. Looked like he was dealing with a little bit of understeer. Seems to have overcome that at the moment based on the lap time. I think if you're in the 7s, you could argue that the car setup's probably pretty good.
So just seeing Pete Dawson talking about Astons. Pete Dawson and who's that? Nick Firth, actually,
Yep.
trading times as well. Only a tenth apart between those boys there, or a little bit less actually. So fierce little battle going on there.
Have it for reference right now. Nathan Bewley provisionally P1 in quali, Matty Clark second, and Gunther third. The interesting fact behind that is your championship order for the top three at the moment. So they say the cream rises to the crop, Davo. It looks that way.
It does rise to the top, mate. Yep. So, yeah, nice work from the boys there. And we saw these same names in some practice sessions earlier. Oh, well, over the weekend, should I say.
Yep.
So, some super quick times from the boys. And, yeah, look, the guys are doing a lot of practice in LMU at the moment. Hot property. And these guys coming up to speed very quickly, J-Man, with this new title.
Yeah, they are. They're certainly growing week by week. The speed and consistency starting to show now. Really got the head around the VE. We saw some testing, signs early. Guys running out. I think they've really got a handle on this now, and it's just par for the course now as far as fueling and having the correct amount of virtual energy and fuel for the race. Slightly bigger lap here than we're used to. So, one could argue this is probably the second biggest lap on the calendar, obviously, with De La Sarve. I'm not sure if they're going to run that in here. I'm not sure that they are, but yeah, certainly this is a big lap. So it'll test them, if they start getting low on the percentages of the virtual energy and they pick one more lap, that could be costly, given that there is a 100-second penalty to something like that. And obviously we haven't discussed it much lately because they've been so good at it. However, the lap is big here, and it'll probably only take a momentary lapse of concentration to actually go back around, and that be slightly short. So just looking through there, seeing who's on an out lap. So Crosland's gone back for a fresh set of boots. He's on an out lap, cycling up, just coming through turn one, and he's got one of the Lexuses behind him. Who else is on the move?
I think Clark just made an improvement there, but look how close Clark and Bewley are now, J-Man. They are literally hundredths of a second apart. It's just a whisker, and this is going to make for an awesome race here in Rainlight Racing's Season 9 LMU Series here in 2025. We must thank the good people at SIMBLACKS, actually, for jumping on board once again with Rainlight Racing for their LMU stuff as well. And look, we've got to have a little bit of a graphic. We won't get away from this too much, but SIMBLACKS giveaway has officially been announced. It's a awesome haptics kit. If you don't know what that is, look it up, ladies and gentlemen. It's all the buzzy good stuff that you get in your sim rig to just make that immersion a little bit more. So, yeah, good stuff. Quality kit, once again, coming from SIMBLACKS, jumping behind the good people here at Rainlight Racing. And, of course, MATCHFIT Entertainment here. Bring it to you live on the night, on the YouTubes, J-Man.
Yeah, just watching here, Matty Clark, he's just out there. He's just let Costas Makrolos go. He's looking for some track position. He's looking for a clear run with obviously 41 seconds to go. He's got 2 turns to make to start the lap. You mentioned that the start-finish line is, the timing control line is actually at the start of the lap. And he's
very early.
30 seconds to go. So he's timing this to be effectively one of the last cars out on circuit. So bit of a smart play. So it shows you really the strategy that goes into
absolutely
a qualifying session here. And given that he's only
19 seconds now, so
is the smallest margin away from Nathan Bewley.
It's unbelievable. So Clarkey on an 207.372. Nathan Bewley on a 207.341. That is close. Gunther Rowe actually not that far behind J-Man, only a couple of tenths odd behind with a 207.699. Crossland also in the sevens. Potato in the sevens. You've got to go back to sixth position to see a 208.
Sorry, just picked up on Bewley, just blew the end of that lap. He was really on the gas. I don't know what the number was, but he was pushing hard, and he just came out of turn 19 and just got it a little bit sideways and how to counter steer it, and just blew the lap, just ran off a track. Oh, and Matty Clark's just done the same out of turn 11 as well. So Gunther Rowe's still on a lap, and he's heading around the back sector. It's coming around, looks like about turn 17, 18 as we speak. Oh no, he's earlier in the lap actually. He's well back from there. He's back down in the...
No, he's down the back section here. He's in the last sector here.
Yep, no, it's around about... I believe he was down there at turn 13, 14. Now he's in 17, 18. Down through 19 as he just lines up the... And look, he's on the gas. The time's run out, so one would argue that this may be better than what he's run. Tips it in, makes the apex beautifully on the final turn. Looks for the shortest run home, but does not improve. However, he'd be pretty happy with the...
he's got to be...
the left-hand side of the second row with his old mate Steve Crossan right beside him, and then Shane Fodderdo, Pete Dawson. The lineup is impressive.
Starting from... It is starting, isn't it?
Yeah. It's looking... Okay, I think that's it. I think that is officially it. So Nathan Bewley over Matty Clark take the front row, Davo. I don't know if you want to give our software a go, or you giving up on that?
Sort of kind of given up on it a little bit, but we'll give it another crack tonight. We'll just let this this server tick over.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll throw off a few more graphics. So again, we will thank SIMBLACKS for what is going to be the grand prize for this first of the LMU series run by Rainlight Racing in 2025. It's their season 9. We've got to thank SIMBLACKS for giving away major prize haptics kit for your rig, ladies and gentlemen. That will be friggin' always quality product coming from them. Obviously, we're going to thank the MATCHFIT Entertainment boys. That's myself and Davo, J-Man, should I say, here for streaming it to you live on the YouTubes every week on a Monday night. Don't miss out. Quick shout out to Rainlight. If you got Insta, get over there, give them a follow, support, get on the socials, support this group. They got plenty going on. If you miss it on their Discord, then you'll definitely catch up on their Insta. J-Man, I suppose we should be talking about points about now.
Yeah, I reckon it's definitely worthy of a look. Like I keep mentioning, we are heading towards it's the business end of the, I guess, of the series. You know, this is where, yeah. Everybody's starting to jostle for positions. So, as I mentioned, the top 3 that you've just seen qualify, Nathan Bewley, Matty Clark, Gunther Rowe, are the top 3 in the championship, as you can see.
Yep.
And the margins aren't that big. You know, we're still very, very close in this championship. 1455 points, plays 1390 over Bewley over Clark, and then back another 80 points from there is Gunther Rowe, and then we drop back to Ichikawa, who Isaac away for this round. I believe he's offshore, so
yep,
missing him out there tonight. He's been racing incredibly well and deserved for the 4th position, so it'll be interesting to see where he shakes out from there. And then we see the consistent good performances have really helped Steve Crossan in his championship endeavours at the moment. P5 outright on 1,175 points. Then Goddard, Kramer, Hemi Bateman. Now we're missing Dan Hemi Bateman tonight, I believe. I didn't see
Corvette.
Yeah, in the Corvette. And then Sam Wozniak and Craig McConnell rounding up the 10. And then the names running through the list. Costas Makrolos. Now, Nick Firth got off to a shaky start to the series, however, been performing incredibly well of late. So look for Firth. He's just sitting a little bit outside the top 10 in the championship at the moment of P12, but I'm sure he's going to make good for the back end of the series because the racing is certainly coming to him at the moment. Joseph Marnie, Pete Dawson, Lily Glass, Mitchie Smith, Shane Fodderdo, Merlin, a.k.a. Lee Perkins, Kenneth Worcester, and Chris Croat making out the 20, and then a list of guys after that I think have been a little bit absent at the moment, the likes of Hamilton, Thackeray, Spence, and Maddie. So, hey, look, at the top end of town, Nathan Bewley is certainly deserving of having that top spot at the moment, but it's not going to be easy tonight.
No, it's not going to be easy, I suspect. Not for some. And even the boys at the front, plenty, very, very close times up the pointy end of the field here, J-Man. Like I said, you had to get back down into 6 to see 2:08. So, yes, it's going to be interesting. And there's a few guys down the back still coming up to speed with the old LMU, J-Man. And we've seen some guys doing it tough in the past couple of weeks. Still get their head around it. There's plenty to play out. There's all sorts of things, fuel strategies, EV. You know, like, there's no compulsory pit stop because these guys do have to stop, J-Man. They just set themselves here on grid.
And I think 60 minutes here is going to be relatively taxing, other than the run down between 11, 12, and then maybe the turn, up to turn 1's about the only break they get. That I would love to see the percentage of time that the cars are turning on this racetrack, because outside of those two sections, they're pretty much always in some form of rotation on the track. It's a busy. I'm not even going to say little racetrack because it is a very big racetrack.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very busy. So tyre wear will be something to consider here tonight as well. Obviously, I'm not sure which side is worse off, whether it's the front left that gets punished here or whether it's pretty symmetrical. But hey, look, the cars are rolling out on what is a relatively short formation here, and then I do believe the start finish control line is a little further up the road than what we see the timing loop. So I'll give the start procedure to you, Davo, and as I mentioned, thanks for tuning in, viewers. This should be a good one.
Oh, definitely looking forward to this one, J-Man. And look, this whole series, it has just got better and better as we've gone on from one week to another. Top row, Nathan Bewley, Matty Clark, Gunther Rowe, Steve Crossan, Shane Fodderdo, and the like on row 3. And they are into it for round 6 here. And boy, do they make a racket as they cross the line. Wow, and look at the jostling for position immediately.
Great start from Matty Clark as well, like really put the pressure on, but I think further back, I think we've got Steve Cross and Shane Fodderdo side by side.
Already passed, I think Crossy is. Oh, hey, is he? It's still on.
Oh, only just cleared him now up into turn 4.
So through the roller coaster, weaving this way and that. I think that first of the Lexi is Louis Vanaventer, like you mentioned, J-Man, back from a bit of a sabbatical. Good to see him back in the seat. But Bewley off, Clark off, and Gunther Rowe, the top 3, already with a gap on Crossan as he just had to wrestle his way past, or wrestle with Shane Fodderdo.
Yeah, it was a good little battle there down through turn 1, 2, 3, and they didn't clear it till 4, I think.
No, definitely not. So, and look who we have here, George Goddard and Nick Firth back together, J-Man, after last week's fantastic race. Pete Dawson in the background, Craig McConnell, Kenny Worcester, Costas Makalos, Marnie. Here we got a couple of new guys, Teg, Kramer, Wozniak. It's all happening. Oh, Merlin, Mr. Perkins, deep at the end of the back straight there, losing a position to Wozniak. Yeah, and it might have been Kramer as well, actually, just to be quite frank. Okay.
So good to see Matty Clark. You mentioned this is going to be a great battle given how close the qualifying was. He is right on the back of Nathan Bewley. And rightfully so. This is a battle for the championship right here with Gunther Rowe cementing himself in third. But Crossy, I noticed this last week, goes incredibly well at the start of the races. So if he can keep this performance up for the 60, he is right on the hunt here. In a good position. I think he went top 5 last week. Obviously came on. Oh, Crossy, I've just cursed him. Got it incredibly sideways out of. Sure where they were there.
And that's allowed Florido through.
Florido back through. Yep. So he just got super sideways.
Out of one. Yep.
Yeah, it was one. Yep. See Goddard and Firth pressing forward as well. They look like they've just settled into a nice pace already on lap 2.
Lap 2, field very bunched still.
Ken Worcester and Costas Macrolos engaged in an absolute dogfight.
Yeah, look, Costas in the big bad Mustang. Worcester wrestling what was one of only one Lexi in the race last week. Vanderven are now back in the sister car to give a bloke a hand.
So, good start to this race.
Absolutely.
Nice and clean. Not sure what happened to Louis there.
Yeah, so Louis back well down through the field. Easy to get it a little bit loose. In the early stages, these tyres do take some time to come up, don't they, J-Man, and these things?
Yeah, they do. They do. Obviously, it's a pretty big lap. It's pretty busy, so you'd well expect that inside lap 2 that they'll be up to a working condition. Whether or not the mind is, because man, there's a lot going on. I'm looking at McConnell and Pete Dawson. That's a good battle. Obviously, Shane Fodderdo got his hands full of Crossy after that mistake. Crossy obviously had enough pace to clear him at the start of lap 1, but he's just settled down. Yeah, and they are making, it looks to be a little bit of inroads into Gunther Rowe here, who's just fallen away from the back of Matty Clark. Matty Clark around about a second and a half off the back of Bewley now, so the early pace going to Bewley. But we've seen this before with Matty Clark. We've heard them talk about potential glitches with tyre temperatures going out there, and the tyres are stone cold rather than, you know, the temperature that they're supposed to start at. And you know, it didn't look like that lap 1. He certainly went with Bewley, so maybe he's just set those pressures a little bit to come in later. We're yet to see, but the pace at the moment of 207.5. 207.5 for Nathan Bewley is a very, very good lap. He's the only guy in the 7s at the moment. Best of the rest would be Matty Clark on an 8.3. And then we drop into a lot of 9s and 10s. So, car's full of fuel. Early days, but Steve Crossland, Shane Fodderdo, good battle. And was that?
Oh, Kenneth Worcester, Costas Macrolos, as well as Nick Firth on Goddard, J-Man. So there's plenty going on. Firthy just dropped back in the last couple of corners here, but not unlike Crossy, who's giving Shane Fodderdo the hurry up here. He made that slight mistake out of 1 there a couple of laps ago. I think Crossy's McLaren clearly quicker than Fodderdo's Aston, and he needs to get back out in front of him so he can chase down Gunther Rowe.
Yeah, that's a good little pack. 2's going to become 3 very, very quickly, because they are definitely making inroads into Gunther Rowe's into his margin at the moment as well. So Shane coming in from very, very far out wide right to make turn 1. Crossy just looks a little stronger, I got to think, through those sharper corners, although Shane's Aston looks very, very good through this roller coaster, through 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up here. Yeah, Crossy's starting to come back at them now, so it's like Crossy's rhythm gets better through the roller coaster.
Yeah, just whether the Aston doesn't start so quick, you know, like we see it even with Clark, you know, like just struggles sometimes for the first couple of laps, but the car really comes on as the race goes on, particularly towards the end of the session. So Crossy again through that tight little left, it's onto the back straight, and look at these guys go.
Right under the wing. Does he have a look?
He has a
he's
big
braked
look.
incredibly late. He braked after the pass. Still pulls it up.
Nice work from Crossy there.
Beautiful pass. He pulled out.
Oh, he had to run.
Forecast the move.
Yeah. Yep. I think you would expect to see Crossan with no mistakes to just sort of get away from Shane here, start heading towards Gunther, who has, by the looks, been sort of coming back to these boys anyway, even while they've been in battle. So
yeah, well, hey, look, since turn 12, he's already pulled just on a second on Shane.
On Shane, yeah.
Yeah, so he's on the move.
Look at this battle. Now, Makalos is stuck past Worcester, but we've got Marnie tucked in behind there, so there's a bit of a three-way going on there.
There's a three-way, yep.
Worcester holding his own there up until...
Was he trying to size up Kramer as well, so there's plenty of close gaps out there. There's Pete Dawson in that battle. That's a three-way as well, so PD looking to maybe encourage Sam to put a move on Adrian so he can have a crack as well, but... I think none more closer at the moment than probably Marnie Worcester and Macrolos. I think that is clearly the closest battle pack at the moment. And man, it's so fast here. You know, when they come in through even this stuff here, I think they might drop down to maybe as low as about 140, 150k. And who is that? Is that McConnell around? So McConnell's gone around. Don't you see any witness marks on the back of that car, but he certainly looped it up and lost a few positions in the process. So Craig McConnell going backwards and still hasn't gathered this thing up properly yet. All over the show. So that's a gift for a few drivers for sure. Definitely Worcester, Marnie, and Macrolos benefited from that. Yep.
Definitely.
Matty Clark now made big inroads into Nathan Bewley. You talked about the Aston potentially starting a little slower. He was 1.4 seconds behind. He's every bit of only, half a second now. He's right on the back of Bewley.
Yeah, you don't even need the timing. You can see it clearly there. That Aston, the Aston, ranging up.
Compared to the angry, high-revving sounding Porsche, the Aston sounds lazy. You listen to this car when it comes out of the final turn, it just sounds like it's labouring, but it does the business, so it's obviously a big, torquey engine. Comes out of their second gear, bottom of the rev range.
Yeah, and just so solid too, you know, it's not highly strung. Like I said, lazy, nice torque delivery on that car. And again, just gets it tucked in. Easy on the throttle. Looks smooth as silk. Chasing down Nathan Bewley.
Now this is where, watching them in practice and quali, the Porsche looks super stable up through this area. I've seen the Aston look a little twitchy at times, but he's making good of it this time because he's just closed the gap a little bit more.
Oh, there you big go. Slip from Clarkie.
That was just a catch of the rear. The rear broke away at the back sector there. You could see him close the gap, and the Porsche stayed solid, and the Aston just slightly let go under lateral load there. So that's what I was talking about. Just the comfort and stability of the Porsche versus the Aston through that high-loaded section of the racetrack. So he's got to do all the work again because it blows out to 1.2 seconds again. Now, Steve Crossland all over the back at Gunther Rowe. Talked about Crossland's car not really being oversteery, potentially on the side of understeery earlier in the evening. So if he can harness that, and he's on the back of Gunther Rowe, looking to make some good gains in the championship this round, Steve Crossland. Obviously with Isaac Ichikara away, and then running in the top 4 early in the piece here. What are we? We're only around about 12 and a half minutes into this thing. And the intent is there from these drivers. Marnie still working over Worcester. Macrolos made a little bit of margin at the moment, Davo. But Marnie's still working over Ken Worcester. Ken Worcester always comes with a lot of support in the broadcast.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've got a big, good, solid fan base as Ken Worcester. Yeah, look, just Macrolos sneaking past there a couple of laps ago in the Mustang. Stretched the legs a little bit. And it's got a few car lengths on him now. And it's taking a couple of deep breaths.
Really?
Oh, yes. We also had Dawson, Kramer, and who was in that before? Wozniak, Dawson, Kramer.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's still there. He is still there. And not the lone Ferrari anymore. He has got Rob Fox, who's racing out of P19 at the moment, and that manufacturer
and
also.
The other one.
So
Yep. So
yes, just
Kramer
picked up on those front 2 again. Sorry, Davo, and yeah, certainly the Achilles heel for Matty Clark at the moment is sector 1. Just really he can catch up to Nathan Bewley everywhere else on the lap. However, they get through that long loaded carousel, that roller coaster of corners through turns 3 to 7, and Matty Clark just struggles to stay with Nathan Bewley there.
Goddard and Firth, nice and close again, J-Man. It was Firth out in front last week. This time Goddard, but they're mirroring each other again. Very equally paced. Aston v Mustang here.
Yeah, just interesting to see Firthy there down into turn 12. Came in, probably broke a little earlier than George Goddard, and he was behind him. But then I just watched the telemetry and the cadence braking that he was applying, so regulating the brake pressure coming down in there just to close the margin. Obviously comfortable that the car was going to pull up into turn 12, and then just released the brake a little bit to close the margin. Still made the apex, and he is right on him now. So it'd be interesting to see the strengths and weaknesses. We've seen it with the Aston and the Porsche. Now what's it like with the Aston and the Mustang? And I'll tell you what, he's all over him.
He is all over him. Bit of a wriggle from Goddard in the Mustang there.
Yeah, feeling the pressure.
Keeps Firthy hungry. He's a hungry man, Firthy.
So exactly 5 tenths. I'm just picking up 5 tenths is the margin as they head down through 2, 3, 4 up to 7. The distance between Matty Clark and Bewley. I want to see what that margin looks like. Oh, as Bewley has a big moment through the roller coaster right now, and that allows Matty Clark to actually close the gap even more. So talked about how good the Porsche looked on the load through here, but that time it just got away on him a little bit. So nothing lost there. That was his strong suit. That's the part of the racetrack that he seems to be making all his margin, and he didn't make it this time round. So how good does Matty Clark look out of turn 11, heading down to 12?
Bewley again sideways, leading out onto the back straight. Won't do him any favours at all, but still gets the punch out of that Porsche, Jay, man.
Yeah, they talk about the Porsche being quite hard on the tyres, so he probably doesn't want to do too much of that. Matty Clark, very deep, very good under brakes, just closes the gap. And I thought Clark's been good here through this back sector all night. So, and that was unforced. Bewley around on his own. Absolutely on his own, 100%. Just lost the rear, stayed in the loud pedal, tried to counter steer it. That thing just did not want to come back.
He looked vulnerable the closer Clark got to him. the more vulnerable he looked. Clark now through to first position. Nathan Bewley in second. Gunther Rowe has had the blowtorch just blazing on the back of his Porsche for the last couple of laps from Croston, but Croston also back in position on Fondo. So the boys all slipping up there.
Unforced errors.
Unforced errors down the back section of the track. But unlike Nick Firth here and George Goddard, who are just going at it, and pretty well have been since the green flag dropped. These cars inseparable last week and looking like the same again this week. So a bit of a change in positions there. Clarkey over Bewley now and Shane Fondo over Steve Crossland.
Oh, both Firthy and Goddard blow the apex to turn one, pushing so hard they missed it by a mile. However, they both did it. So there was an opportunity gone begging for Nick Firth to poke it down the inside of Goddard at turn one because he just mirrored him. So they both ran in there hot, but look how good this Aston looks through this roller coaster. He's all over the back of him, just grabbing more apex than Goddard. Just looks like he's just got more time and more ability to turn the car down on the apex. Goes a little wider, robs Peter to pay Paul there through that section there. Through 8, 9. Come through the dog leg at 10, down to 11. Goes a little wider, cuts back down, looks to straighten the car early and get all that power down on the Aston. But George Goddard did a beautiful job of that as well, just
Very
running
exciting.
that flowy line through there.
Yep.
So now that gap at the top, obviously, Matty Clark getting through after Nathan Bewley has a spin. We've seen that at around 4.5 seconds. Now that's going to be a tough deal for Nathan Bewley to pull back, given how consistently close they are. He can see him in the distance, but to pull back the better part of 4.5 seconds is going to take some serious ability and concentration with no mistakes for the next 41 minutes. And, you know, there's no doubting he's got it in him, but he's just going to just have to tidy up those little mistakes.
Yep.
And hope that Matty Clark, you know, has a couple as well. So it's early days, but that's a good margin for Clarkey right now. So close margins right throughout the field. So I just looked at that Costas, Macrolos, Ken Worcester, Joseph Marnie's just spread itself out a little bit. That was a very, very good battle, quite close for quite some time. Okay, so Louis Van Deventer starting to make inroads into...
Firthy has authority to up. Firthy has a big look at one
Big
on
look at
Goddard.
one. Yep.
Might have been the slightest of contacts between the two cars. Goddard clearly didn't feel threatened by Firth in the Aston. Firthy goes, well.
Oh, Firthy had to open the steering there. He's just got so much momentum on the Mustang through this section.
Saw that.
Yeah, I think he just needs to be patient here. I think he's got car speed over Goddard, so he just needs to be patient and it'll happen. Pick his moment. Try and get his timing right and he'll get through. And I believe if he gets past, I think he's got enough to pull away and maybe start heading down the road towards Crossan, who you had just mentioned made a mistake, lost the position to Shane Fondo. It's a good result here so far out of P7 for Nick Firth. Obviously we talked about him 12th in the championship, trying to move his way forward at the back end, and his racing's really come good. He's taken his hand as he has a big look down the inside now.
Look, oh, he's got it. Stop, Goddard. Goddard gave him space.
Can he over under here? Goes down, looks to the inside. Here he goes. It's another right-hander.
And he's keeps the point in the right direction.
Yeah, just got excited with the pass.
He did. He definitely had Goddard offline and vulnerable, but just got on the loud pedal too big, and nearly turned it around. Flash of the headlights there from 30. Cheeky little flash there, just to say, I'm coming for you, brother.
Yeah, eyes forward. Don't look back because there's another Mustang behind you, buddy.
So let's just roll through this again. Matty Clark a few laps ago, sneaking past Bewley after a little unforced error. Unfortunate for Nathan. Gunther Rowe has literally been the most consistent position in the whole race so far.
Yep.
It started in third, still in third. Crossy gave it a red hot crack to shake him. But now Crossy losing a position to Shane Frodeau. So, and yeah, well back actually from Shane as well. Shane's actually lining up for Gunther Rowe now.
Well, so I beg the question, does the Porsche's tyres, we talked about the Porsche having heavy tyre wear in LMU, is that a factor? Is that going to be a bigger factor? We're only, what have we got, 37 minutes of this race to go, so we're not halfway yet. You know, you look at the way Gunther just slid the car off of turn 11 there. It just slid off there very, very easily. So, you know, every time they do that, a little bit more tyre wear. Is that playing into Shane's hands? Does the Aston look after its tyre better? It certainly comes off the corner straighter. Shane brakes early, bit of cadence braking. There was only about 40% brakes at the end of that braking phase, just letting the car squeeze back up down to the apex on Gunther. So a little bit of wisdom in that.
That does help for the VE as well, doesn't it, JB? As we just see Frodeau just getting on that pedal, out of the same corner that Nick Firth did. So the Aston's clearly just getting a whole bunch of torque from some very slight throttle inputs out of that corner there. And we've been sort of saying how lazy the engine sounds and how they don't sound like they're ever on a big torque curve. But it clearly shows that, plenty of grunt from the Aston out of the corners.
And just that little slip up there has just invited Crossy back.
It has.
Away from it. So, and then they get these, you know, you'll hear me talking about the cadence braking and the ability to brake off the guy in front, and you'll see that, especially up to turn 1. And
Shane goes round. No. Wings left the chat, J-Man.
Oh.
No.
And it's at the start of the lap. He's got to be very, very careful here. This thing will rotate so easily. Those who haven't driven this game, the damage model is very, very good. He'll only be able to drive this thing at a very slow speed back to pit lane.
Who's that in the background? It's Kostas Makalos off backwards into the fence.
I saw that. He still came out of it with his wing. There goes McConnell. So it's all kicked off just shy of the halfway mark. And I tell you what, that for Shane Frodeau, once again, it's that torque curve, the bottom end. Oh, and he barely hung onto it again. He's just coming to terms with that thing not having a wing. But the
he's
bottom
not even
end
halfway
of the torque
around
curve,
the track yet either, bro. So
yeah, the bottom end of the torque curve on that Aston must be brutal because we've seen it bite Firth. It's now bitten Shane Frodeau.
Wow, how things can change just in a couple of laps, ladies and gentlemen. So exciting stuff here. Frodeau trying to limp the number 27.
Lee Perkins made his official pit stop, so he has recharged the VE and the fuel, so he's in it, I would suspect, to the end of this one.
We talk about VE, it's virtual energy, ladies and gentlemen, not an old hybrid Commodore.
So Firthy still over the back of Goddard, obviously made that mistake, lost a little bit of margin, but shows the car pace that he's got because he's right back on him again, Davo.
Oh yeah, look, and these guys gifted a position. They got their own little thing going on here.
Yeah.
But just every now and then somebody falls off in front of them. They're just like, bam, bam, thanks, there's another one. So slowly climbing up through the field too, mind you, while they're hard at it. And Firth again, very deep under the brakes into one in the Aston. That is the one, isn't it? I think they were just rolled up
through.
Yeah,
it was one. Yeah, now they're coming down to 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7, this roller coaster. And this is where he's looked really, really good. And look for him to try and close the margin here on Goddard. Already halfway through this section, he's already on the back of him. And Looks to open the steering up and go down the inside here.
Oh, it has a big look at it.
Shows the nose. It was going to be diminishing returns on that one, but he had a good look. I think that's just sending a message to Goddard.
Well, I think that's what he did a couple of laps ago down the end of the straight here, and just got Goddard offline, and looked vulnerable. The car, he was open
so that's
for
Steve
a pass.
Crossland
So
right in front of them. So Crossland has come back to them. Big time.
So he was back behind Fodderdo. Yeah, he was way closer to Gunther than that. So he's had a bit of an unforced slip up there somewhere as well, just in the last half a lap or so. As these guys chase him. Geez, he wouldn't want to do that too often, too many more times, J-Man, because these boys will be all over him.
Yep. Now that line that Firth and Goddard just took, so there's obviously a lot more grip to the outside of that right-hander there, where Nick had his half spin earlier. So if he takes a shallow line, there's clearly not the grip there. So I wonder if he's awake to that one there.
Oh, look, even when you are, and you get there, you find yourself there, do you ever listen to that voice inside your head? Usually not. So these guys going at it. These... killer battle on a track at the moment.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Tracy. Good to have you on board. But yeah, good spicy battle here, Nick Firth. And yeah, I think keep trending this way, and Crossy makes a couple more mistakes, they'll be all over him. Firthy has a big another look down to one. Had to open the steering up, a little bit of a big sausage on the inside there. Don't want to grab too much of that curve.
Don't want to get onto that.
Okay, so just scrolling down, seeing how the field is going. Obviously, I mentioned Merlin already made the pit stop. He's done his. Shane Fodderdo obviously had to make his with some repairs. So that sees Shane Fodderdo legitimately in P19. And that is behind Merlin on track as well. So Shane going a long, long way back, having to make those repairs. The gap at the front, hovering around about 2.8, 2.9 seconds. So Nathan Bewley, we talked about 4.5 seconds as the margin, as we see one of the Mustangs was that. Who was that? I'm just trying to pick up who that was.
Merlin. Yep, 77 car.
Yep, has a lose there. But yeah, certainly Bewley starting to make some big inroads into that margin. 2.3 seconds
on
now.
Clark,
4.5 seconds. Yeah,
absolutely. So you wonder whether Clark's just sort of backed that car down a little bit, just trying to save a bit of energy, save a bit of tyre. Oh, it looked like he nearly faked to go into the pits there, but it might have just been the torque of that Aston again we've just been mentioning. Lily Glass also in the pits, J-Man. Gunther Rowe in a comfortable third. Comfortable for Gunther so far tonight. A little bit of heat from Crossy earlier on.
Crossy driven away from Goddard and Firth too, so it was a clear mistake made for him to be back that close to them.
Yep.
Because he's got car pace. Now
big
Goddard with a big wiggle out of the final turn, 20. It'll just excite Nick Firth to no end. Has a big look down the inside again, shows a nose, gets it down
he's
there.
He's up beside him this time. Can he make it live there? Oh, no!
The overlap.
Oh,
and Firth loses a wing. That was a tragic start of the lap too.
He's got the full Bluetooth wing going on there. Goddard's slow to redress. Hardly worth it. Firth's going to take an age to get round this lap.
Yeah. So now what did that do? Okay, so that sees Crossland go back through. Oh, sorry, he was already through. No, so it sees...
Well, Macalos is through, McConnell's through, Marnie's through, Worcester's through.
Worcester through to P5 now. So he has just been quietly achieving since the start of this one, finds himself in the top 5 with absolutely nobody around him. he's got the closest competition he's got is Joseph Marnie
behind him.
who's around about 3.5 seconds behind.
So did Macalos stop? Oh, he spun, didn't he? We saw him spin earlier in the S's there.
Yep.
When Fotado was struggling with his car there. So Macalos was the only person that snuck past him pretty well earlier in the race, but now back past and just been gifted 5th position. He's just got to keep his head down here. Nice work, Kenneth Worcester.
That thing in Nick Firth's has got something broken. If you go for an onboard, Davo, with Nick Firth, go for a driver onboard if you can. And that thing has broken something in the rear, like a rear linkage or something, because he cannot do over 70k an hour. That thing is tracking all sorts of messed up. He may struggle to get that thing back to the pits. It is crab walking down the racetrack, so that is a real shame. If we thought Shane Fotido's was bad, Nick Firth is an absolute shocker, and look, he's going to pull that thing up. He cannot get it back to pits.
Well, yeah, danger to the other drivers. J-Man must be considered in these cases. Not even halfway around the lap there.
Oh, that
Cota
is a shame.
Bites again. Both Aston Martins too, mind you. Just not saying, you know. Just saying, not saying.
Yeah. I'm hearing you. Oh, he was on such a good battle, such a good run with George Goddard. And that's a shame. It was just that slight overlap. It wasn't quite there. He hadn't quite cleared the nose. Goddard was still in it, probably entitled to. And
absolutely.
Yeah, just cars come together, so that's a shame. Anyway, back to it. Nathan Bewley, 2.3 seconds is the margin to try and catch up to Clarkey. Pete Dawson, Adrian Kramer, closest battle out on track. So that is the Aston Martin
and
against the BMW.
Yep.
God, every time I go to one of these Astons now, I'm scared that one of them's going to make the fifth and lose a wing.
Oh dear. We've seen them eject tyres and wings throughout the series already, haven't we? Usually Astons.
Yeah.
So
that is a DNF for Nick Firth, so that is a shocker. That is just, I really feel for him. You don't wish that on anyone.
No, and what was shaping to be a bit of a repeat of last week's battle between those two, which was a friggin' awesome watch.
Craig McConnell here, Joseph Marnie. Sorry, Davo. There's a move coming here.
And that is a recovering Fotado, I suspect, tucked in behind them. Will be out of position.
Yep. Yeah, he's pit stopped.
So he's a lap down.
Yep, he is. But this is a good battle. Marnie runs wide out of the final turn. McConnell looking strong. Now, this is a recovering McConnell. Had a pretty rough start to the race, but he's on his way back, and he's shown the nose already up to 1. See if these guys can get this done.
Oh,
a little bit of contact. There.
Shane will stay well away from that. Archie, shut up!
And he loosed it!
Oh, no!
Just like that. So
and he's online too there. Oh, just the car rolled back out on track there. Gathered it up. Oh, so close. Unforced error there, J-Man.
Oh, we witnessed it live, Firthy, mate. If look, mate, if you're brave enough, come on down for a chat. If you want to, I'll give you a pat on the back if you want to talk about it, mate. We're happy to have you come down here, Firthy. You make something of your night, but
plenty of beer in the fridge, mate.
Yeah. Don't touch the peanuts, but the beer's good.
So, eyes on Worcester. George Goddard. Another change of positions with McConnell just going off there.
Yeah. Man, it just doesn't cease to stop the amount of mistakes.
Yeah.
and wholesale changes. I mean, look at that. What happened?
Okay. So
What happened to Nathan Bewley? He's
what
now
happened?
8.4 seconds behind.
And what happened to Worcester? Worcester was in freaking 5th before. So he's gone back a couple of positions. He's made a bit of an error off camera as well and dropped back behind Marnie and Costas. So
that's Goddard and McConnell. Right behind Worcester now.
Yeah.
So it was just shaking out to get a little bit, spread out, and the boys were like, no, these guys have got to make some TV. We'll close it back up again.
Yeah, it's all happening again.
So, and here we go, McConnell, Goddard.
McConnell's got him.
That's Worcester into the pits.
That's Worcester into the pits, just in front there. You can just see him side of shot.
So Mustang on Mustang. Craig McConnell is on the move. Goddard having a run back here up to turn 1. Looks for an over-under.
Oh, look at the pace he ran through the corner there. McConnell running shallow there. Really did compromise his run out of the corner here. And this is on. McConnell will be a bit gun-shy possibly as he flicks the Mustang through this stuff. That's where he slid last time.
It's that change of direction made the car really, really nervous.
And you were saying how much momentum they've been carrying through there. Very quick through that part of the circuit, these things.
Worcester in the pits now. He's making his official stop. Came out of a good position. Obviously dropped a couple. Went back to P7 when he stopped. Takes the car away off the jacks. Drops a couple of 11s as he leaves for the boys. So I think still for me, obviously the drive from Matty Clark has been very good, but Gunther Rowe on an absolute banger of a drive there. Just every time I flick to him, he's making no mistakes. I don't want to jinx him, so hopefully
I'll keep the cameras off him. That'll help. Okay, so Costas Macrolos, I just noticed, is not that far in front of this McConnell Goddard battle here.
But McConnell's the one. He's moving forward. He is going forward, definitely. Since his early dramas, you just look at that Macrolos, wicks it up out of turn 20, the final turn. Craig McConnell was as straight as a die. Look for this inside move. McConnell likes it. He's done it a couple of times already. Doesn't think better of it this time around. Wasn't close enough.
Car showing some really good grip apart from a bit of a slip up there a couple of laps ago. McConnell's car looks so grippy through here.
It's super fast, definitely fast. Look at the closing margin up through here. And Macrolos was actually getting through there pretty quick. Sideways. Out of turn 9, down through 10, away to a big braking zone into 11. You can see in the just up in the header shot that is Marnie. Yep.
Oh, here we go, onto the straightaway.
Oh, he's close this time. He'll have a look, surely. Needs to pull out now. Yep, here he goes. He'll have the rights to this left-hander. Down at 12. Oh, he's just a little bit close under brakes, proximity-wise. Just might not have realised where he was. That might cost him.
Just give him a bit of a tap. I'm coming over. I'm coming.
Clipped his ears on the way past.
So, like you mentioned, mates, McConnell's with some really hot pace. Once he sort of broke that draft from Goddard, it really has stepped away. And now rounded up Makalos and continues that push forward. Next target would be Marnie in the Porsche, just rounding up one of the lapped Ferraris there in Fox, I think it is. Rob Fox, J-Man, as they roll out on to the fast start finish straight again. And look at these trio, the three Mustang.
And who's that in the back of shot there?
Oh, that's the Ferrari, Fox.
Okay, yep. So Steve Crossan in good position now. He's made his pit stop, refueled the car, grabbed some more virtual energy, and I believe he has. Let me just have a look at that. Yeah, I think he has. So, what's he got on board? Virtual energy, 41%. Yeah, so he is energized and fueled for the run home, and he is effectively next car on track behind Goddard. So obviously a fair way back, but just having a look at that, Goddard, Costas Makrolos, that was tight, Davo.
Very close between this lot. But McConnell moving quickly.
Okay, so Pete Dawson did dispatch just recently of Adrian Kramer. Sorry I missed that. I was watching that building. Pete Dawson would be working over Adrian for quite some time. And now we've got Hayden Tegg puts a move on Sam Wozniak down to turn one. Does it well and truly before the brake zone into one. So he gets that Lamborghini down there. Runs a little wide off of turn one.
Oh, Wozniak still in it.
And then you've got a pit stop, Ken Worcester, not that far behind these boys in the Lexus as well. So expect to see a little bit more pit movement shortly as the guys start really running down. I'll give you an idea that the likes of, we've been watching of late, the likes of Craig McConnell and co. What's he got? 19% VE left. Seems like they've got a lot of VE on this track for late in the piece. Thought the cars might have been a bit hungrier here.
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it, how they're using it here compared to what we've been used to so far in the season, J-Man?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem as hungry. I'll be interested to talk to the drivers on the podium at the end of the night just a little bit more about that, because I'm quite surprised. You know, I looked at the lap as a whole and the throttle traces that I've been seeing, and yeah, admittedly, you know, when they come up through the back end of the roller coaster, up through 7, 8, 9, 10, or 7, 8, 9, you know, there's sort of some 50% throttle, but a lot of the other stuff is full throttle. You know, you look at the cars, they're on full throttle for such a long time when they come out of turn 11 down to 12, and then equally so when they come out of turn 20 up to the front straight. And I talked about, you know, they go all the way up through the gearbox to about 225k through the first 4 turns of this racetrack after they've made turn 1. So there's a high throttle percentage for a good portion of the lap. So a little bit deceived by the VE usage here. The likes of Matty Clark leading this race out there, punching along. Last lap time round was a 2:10, so not particularly quick by his standards, but maybe he's managed that VE. He's got 15% left with just under or just over 40 minutes to run, so you could argue maybe it's close to having enough, but not quite. So, you know, can they do it? Can they do it if they manage it properly? Is this the place that we see the first time where they don't have to stop? Because, you know, we're such a long way in the race, we would have conventionally seen a lot more drivers stop. So is that the question?
Absolutely. A lot of practice going on as we just see Cota on out of the final corner. Yes.
Okay.
Gets that car pointing in the right direction, but who is that? That is none other than Steve Crossan.
Steve Crossan. A pit stopped Steve Crossan, I believe. So Oh, brutal stuff.
Oh, Goddard clearly pushing hard to keep up with Makalos. As Makalos started trying to stay in touch with a very quick Craig McConnell here tonight. And gets it unstuck out of 1.
So Craig McConnell, 16% VE left with 58 litres of fuel.
He hasn't pitted yet though, has he?
No, not to my knowledge. I'm not sure you can bring up the graphic and tell me who has stopped and who hasn't, Davo, but I'm really baffled by the numbers I'm seeing. I haven't seen this all season long. You know, you look at Nathan Bewley. I know he hasn't stopped, and he's still carrying around about 15% energy.
There you go. There it is. So Crossland's the leading stopper in 7th position. And then it's Worcester, from Worcester down.
Yeah, okay, but is this one that maybe is red? Or who we got? Who is that? Is that Sam Wozniak peeling off into pit lane? So he doesn't think he can make it.
Okay, we've had Worcester in the pits as well, J-Man.
Yeah.
He is currently sitting in 12th. So he should come back out around about that. Oh, well, maybe not Goddard now, but he was right in amongst that Makalos, McConnell area.
Yeah, but I've got to beg the question, 12 minutes to run, and you've got somebody like Matty Clark on 11% virtual energy left. Is he managing this race now? Is this all VE management?
Well, there's no CPS.
No, so I'm saying, you know,
can
these guys do it now?
Yeah.
He's short shifting this car. I just seen him short shift. I'll watch him down the front, the back straight here out of... Ooh, nearly has a spin out of turn 11.
Oh, look, yeah, you've got to keep your rhythm, though, don't you, J-Man? You start to ease off and you lose that rhythm that you've been racing hard with all night.
He's taking it to 7,000. He's taking it to 7,000 RPM on the shift. But
he's
look,
very easy under brakes, though, isn't he?
He is. So he's down. I said he was on 11%. He's down to 9.8. So it's going to be tight with 11 minutes to go. I think he might not quite have enough, but I tell you what, they're going to be lightning quick stops.
If there is some, yeah.
To get it done. But for me, Nathan Bewley, he's still on there on 12% with 10 3/4 minutes to run. I got an idea that Nathan Bewley in the Porsche may be able to run this thing with the energy at hand. He's got a big margin. He's got 10 seconds over Gunther Rowe. He's 8.8 seconds down the road from Matty Clark. Is this a management phase? Could he still get this race by way of not making a stop?
Oh, just good management. Yeah, that's right. Well, time will tell. And like you said, time ticking away rapidly. Only seconds from being 10 minutes to go here. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to be precise. We will be keeping an eye, well, J-Man will be keeping a close eye on those VE numbers.
Wozniak still in the pits. He's just about to get that thing away. So he has recharged the fuel and the VE in the Ferrari. Shane Fotterday, good drive from Shane, dug deep after that big incident early on, had to go back, repair the car, get a new wing. Now he's legitimate at the back in P14. And we have got Louis van der Venter in a great battle with Hayden Tegg at the moment as well. So that is Lexus on Lamborghini coming up through the roller coaster, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7, turning continuously up through this section of racetrack, and we've seen it catch a few out already.
Yeah, no let up for the tyres, the car, all the drivers, mind you. Loads of concentration this first sector of this track. Like I said, there's only a couple of places on the track where they get this breather, and it's literally after this turner on to the back straight here. And it's quite a long straight, bit of a breather there, and then obviously the start finish straight as well. So plenty going on.
Update on the VE. Matty Clark's not going to make it. He is down to 5.5%.
Yeah,
however, Nathan Bewley, 8.5 seconds off of him, is down to 8.2. with 8.2 minutes to run. So is there a management phase in this? I've just seen another short shift there from Bewley. Is he managing this thing? What fuel's he got on board?
Well, he's not chasing the lead as such. He knows 9 seconds too much to obviously get in 8 minutes, but by managing the car, he could wrap this up.
It's going to be the smallest at margins.
What's Gunther got? Gunther's in the pits, actually.
Gunther's in the lane. He doesn't think he can do it.
How much has he got?
He had 1.2% remaining.
Okay, compared to Bewley's, what did you say, 8?
Bewley's got 6.7 left with 7 3/4 minutes. So it's
he's using it too quick.
He's using it up a lot now. So
surely we're going to see Clark and Bewley in the lane any moment. These guys leaving it right to the end. Just clearly trying to manage it.
So Crossy here. Crossy's going to play himself back into this. He's the lead car on track that's made a stop. He is going to well and truly bring himself back into this.
Yeah, he's fueled EV to the finish pretty well.
Gunther,
as we said,
Goddard
into the pit lane as well.
Yep.
Pete Dawson finding himself in 8th position, J-Man. He is in the pit lane as well.
That car at Goddard's looked to be a little bit left-hand down too. I just picked up one.
Mate, that thing has been in the wars tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah. So that's potentially a little bit of remaining injury from the Nick Firth incident as well.
Quite possibly. Surprised to see Craig McConnell go into the pits or Makalos. Surely those Mustangs.
4.3% for McConnell. And around about 3.9% for Macrolos, so expect to see them in at the end of this lap. Matty Clark, what sort of energy has Clarky got left? 1.2%. He's got to go. He's got to go this lap. And then Bewley coming around the back sector as well. He's got 4.3% with 6 minutes to run.
Clark in. And he's got a massive gap to road.
Okay, Bewley's coming in as well.
Oh, he's coming in.
Yep.
Now we're going to watch McConnell. He's still up on the back straight. Gunther Road now fueled to the finish.
Yep. So it'll be for me, it'll be where does Steve Croston come out in relation to McConnell? Oh, sorry, is it? No, not McConnell, because they haven't come in yet, have they? No, McConnell's got to come in this lap. He's only got 2.4%.
Yeah, he's got to come in. Yeah, and Makalos. I don't think Marnie's pitted as well. Let me bring that graphic back up for you. It's up there still, actually, just quietly. So Makalos and McConnell were the only two, I think.
Marnie's pitted. He's got 17%.
He's already pitted, so he's good.
Yep.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Clark has been in
and out
of the pits.
In P1. Yep.
Bewley
17%
in
energy
and out of the pits. About 10 seconds between those two. Stunning drive from both of those guys. Gunther Rowe currently holding down third, and Steve Crossland. What a top effort from him in 4th position as we start winding down towards the end of the race here. Craig McConnell, we would expect. Oh, he's already in the pits and rolling out, as is Costas Makalos, tagged on behind. 40 Goddard in the pits, and I think that's about everyone. Just looking down that list there, I think it's only Mr. Roo there who is actually in the pits as we speak in the garage. So that's pit stops done.
Yeah, so for me, obviously we're seeing McConnell just coming through the field all night with good pace. He's got Joseph Marnie up ahead of him. Marnie's pitted, he's fueled and energised for home. So probably based on Matty Clark's position, I think we're going to see two more laps to run after this. Yeah, this one So this one and one more. Yeah, so he crosses the line. So it'll be 2 more laps to run. So good opportunity for Craig McConnell. The gap is 1.7 seconds. What can he do about it? Is there any more pace in this Mustang to move forward to get a top 5? It's looked good. What could have been for so many tonight? I think Firth and certainly
Frodo as well.
Frodo was another one. I think Crossan obviously had his own issues as well. I feel like he possibly could have challenged for P3 at one point. It's a fantastic drive from Matty Clark, though, just to hold his nerve.
Yeah, stunning job from Clark. Worked hard to get that spot. Ultimately, Nathan in the Porsche with a slight unforced error there, allowing Clarky to get past.
0.7 of a second is what Craig McConnell took out of Joseph Marnie in the last lap. So still with
so much pace.
This one and one more to run, as we just see Craig McConnell just
across the infield there a little bit.
Yeah, look, I think he's had to lift to give that back. I think the in-game race director's probably told him,
he's
jump
got to
off
get
the
out
throttle,
of it.
mate.
Yep.
However, didn't lose too much. The second margin still remains. One more push, one more sting in the tail for this one.
Oh, Macrolos.
Rob Fox on Lily Glass. Can Lily grab the position back? They're going to go side by side. Lily will be on the outside here. And can she drive it around the outside?
Oh, tricky double apexing corner here. She's
going to have the right
got a little bit of a... Oh, the door's open. Oh, good little exchange there at the end there, but gets it done.
Gets it back. So trading positions is Lily Glass and Rob Fox. Good battle going on for P15-16. Now here comes Rob. He's having another look. Shows the nose. Got to get out of it. It's a little bit shallow down into turn 19 to try and make that stick. But you'd expect that this battle is going to go on. What is the... Oh, good run out of the final turn for Fox.
Oh, look
Has
at
the
this.
run
Look
up to one.
Up to one.
Lily takes the high line. Goes around the outside. Just sweeps around.
With pace, too.
Yeah. Beautiful piece of driving from Lily there. Rob will be like, what have I got to do?
Oh, look, and that'll be all over, I suspect, without a mistake from Lily. As we get back up the pointy end here, J-Man, it is winding down. The clock has gone 0, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Clark leading the race in the Aston Martin.
I tell you what, while we're congratulating him when he comes across the finish, and we just see Joseph Marnie gets it super crossed up on his own, allows Craig McConnell to get up on the outside out of turns 9, heading through 10 down to 11. He is right there. We talked about the 1.7 second margin, and he's right there. If he can get the drive out of 11 here down to 12, the rear tyres on Joseph Marnie's Porsche will be absolutely on fire.
Yep.
As we just see Matty Clark come across the finish line for an absolutely outstanding drive. Well done, Matty Clark. We'll be talking to you soon. And some 7.5 to 8 seconds behind comes Nathan Bewley. I'll let you stay with the battle, Davo. And then Gunther Rowe with a solid, very disciplined drive takes out 3rd position. And it's probably back to seeing what can McConnell do with the final sector of this lap on Joseph Marnie. Marnie looks good, holds stern.
Or
At this
does
point,
he?
does run a little bit wide there. It's
As-
not done till the final corner. Can McConnell set something up here through the next 4 turns?
Cra-
Double apex right.
Crossing across the line for fourth, but here we go. This is it. 2 3/4 left. Oh,
Oh, the
McCrossland.
big dive.
McConnell just stuffs it down the inside.
Yeah, never going to happen.
And Marnie just holding his nerve, just gave him the space. He goes, okay, bro.
Yeah. So there you go. So it was Matty Clark over Burley, Rowe, Crossland with a good drive for P4. Joseph Marnie holds down that P5 as we just saw over Craig McConnell. We see Macrolos over Goddard for 7th and 8th. Dawson now chasing down Goddard for the final turn. Oh, Dawson nearly wicks it up out of the final turn. Grabs P9. And then we will have Adrian Kramer coming round penultimate corner to round out the top 10. What a fantastic race here at Cota, Davo.
Oh, nice work. Another that kept his nose clean, Mr. Kramer, as did Kenneth Worcester.
Yeah, good drive from Ken. Very, very good drive from Ken. You happy with that one? He raced incredibly well. Gets the Lexus home in P11. Rounding out the results, Shane Fotterdo, Louis Van der Venter, Hayden Tegg, Rob Fox, Lily Glass, Sam Wozniak, Merlin, Nick Firth, and Mr. Rue. So a few retirements there.
Yep.
Lee Perkins, Nick Firth, and Mr. Rue all succumbing to some early issues there of what couple we witnessed on the TV, on the YouTubes. Hey, look, I won't muck around. We'll get into it straight away. A guy that we haven't had in the booth for a long time, and it surprises me as to why after a drive we just saw then, which was very impressive, you're likely going to see him more if he keeps that sort of shenanigans up, because that was a beautiful measured drive, Gunther Rowe.
Thank you very much. That was
Mate.
my championship setup. It was the safest thing I could build.
Well, you know, it's funny, the times that we did flick to you, because you had pretty much all your way in third position, to be fair. You had a little bit of pressure at the start, Steve Crossland, and a couple of little issues there with guys sort of ranging up. And but look, every time we flick to you, I certainly know myself, and I think Dave would probably agree with me, it just looked well in control all the time. It looked so stable. It looked like that in official practice too, Gunther. Was that the call? Was the car super stable for you tonight?
For the race setup I ran in the end, yes. Yeah, I made that, like, honestly, as safe as I possibly could, and just relied on the safety keeping me in the way of anybody who came up behind. So when Crosby came up and then had Whareroa as well, I was just like, well, I'm glad I told the engineers not to install the mirrors and just kept going.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I'm going to quiz probably all 3 drivers tonight that come into the hot box, because we saw something I feel was a little different here tonight at Rainlight Racing's LMU, and by way of the virtual energy. Now, for such a high, what I thought a high throttle percentage track, a big lap as well, Gunther, I was quite surprised by the VE percentages heading down to the final 4 to 6 minutes of the race, and we saw numbers that were almost mirroring the clock to a degree. Obviously, there was a little bit of disparity between yourselves, your one, and Nathan Bewley's. I think there was probably 2.5–3% between you at the same time, which I found interesting. Obviously, starting fuel loads or what have you. But did it feel like for a phase the VE was going to go almost the whole way?
Well, I knew I'd use more fuel probably than maybe, like Nathan, for example, because I ran more wing as well. And so it was just going to be more draggy the whole time, which, like you say, when we got to about 2 or 3 laps to go, I had to come in, and the other 2 boys were able to roll along with another lap's worth. I mean, they were cutting it pretty fine. I saw, I think Matt was down to 1%.
Yes.
But
Yep.
but
Yeah, he was.
again, like
Yep.
one of the main things about the VE is to split the GT cars from the LMPs and the hypers as well to put them out of sync. So I guess when you only see us on the track, it seems like there's a massive disparity between here we were doing like 55 minutes or something like that on 100% VE, where you go to another track and you're struggling to get like 42, 43 minutes. And I think that's totally to do with just the timings that they work on to get how the real world races are. That's all I could put it down to, because like, but last race and this race we're on the same physics and all that kind of stuff, and it was like heads and tails different, like so different.
Yeah. Okay. So there was something in what I was reading there, because I was quite surprised. It's probably the deepest that I've seen you guys run into a race this season, and it made for some interesting viewing anyway. But back to the drive, mate. Just phenomenal quality. There's a reason you're third in the championship, and the two boys are the only ones ahead of you in the championship at the moment, and the only ones that were ahead of you on track tonight. And I think there was probably never any question about you being on the podium from pretty early in the piece. To be honest, from here, it looked like it was easy for you. So congratulations, and just try not to leave it too long before we talk to you again, because I just mentioned it's been a minute since you've been down here, mate. And
Well, at least I didn't get kicked from the server whilst on the grid like last week and had to start from the pit. So that definitely helps my results significantly. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I literally said in my head the papaya rules, that like when Nathan had obviously had a moment there and he was in front of me, and I was like, well, he had T1 before me, I'll just leave him be. There's no point trying to kill myself whilst like trying to keep up or anything like that. I was just like, he's probably going to just drive away, although in those last 3 laps he was definitely slower, but I maybe just wasn't pushing anymore.
Yeah, no, beautiful stuff, mate. Well done on the P3, Gunther. Certainly solidified your position in third at the moment. So well done. Can't wait for next week now. Well done, buddy.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. All right, so that is Gunther Rowe out of P3. And then the next guy we're talking to is no stranger to us. He's been consistently in the booth week in, week out. Nathan Bewley, you got us on comms?
Hey, guys.
Hey, mate. Another beautiful drive. Came with its challenges, though, tonight, I saw. And but nonetheless, mate, picked up a very, very well-earned P2, but led that race for a good portion too, mate. And talk to us about that. Obviously, great qualifying, and then backed it up with some seriously good race pace. But the back end just got away on you there, Nathan.
Yeah, twice. It felt like it was. It felt like it was fine, and then all of a sudden, it just went.
It just wasn't.
And then and it was like the rear end just went, and then I felt like after the first spin, I still had pretty good pace. Like, felt like maybe I was catching back up to Maddie, but then I had the second one, and the rears were just absolutely cooked, and it was at that point it was just like, oh, I'm just get this home, any way possible, just get it home.
Yeah, no, look, I think that phase you talked about after the first one blew out to 4.5 seconds, and I questioned, based on the race pace you were both running, about how hard it would be to bridge that gap, and then we saw you work into that gap and drive the car forward and close that gap right down, and then I think after the second one, which went out to about 8.8, I thought, oh, that's a tough gig, and probably get you a little bit nervous through that phase of the racetrack about how quick it can snap and go. But nonetheless, mate, like I said to Gunther Rowe just before you, there's a reason that the top 3 in the championship once again are the top 3 in the comms box here, and another super measured drive. And hey, another interesting thing I said that I'd bring it up with all 3 drivers tonight. Now, the virtual energy, you guys went a lot deeper into that race tonight, and was it any point that you were looking down at that, Nathan, based on the fact you're about 3% better off than Gunther Rowe at the same time? Was there any point in the race you thought this thing could actually make it to the end of the race?
Yeah. I thought, probably not not without like stopping. I think I would have needed probably like 2 laps, and I think that would have been like pushing it. But yeah, I mean, if I had been able to stick close, I might have been able to would have got to me. I might have been able to put in an extra like lap lessened the V, so I could have like gained a couple of seconds in the pit if if I was close enough. But I just went safe in the end because it was just, like I said, it was just get this thing home.
Yeah. Nah, fantastic. Hey, look, was super entertaining that pace. For the better portion of it, certainly while you were running with Bewley, and then running away at the start, I just thought, man, the pace can't stay like that. It was just so fast. 2:07.533 race trim. That's quality trim. That is quality lap. So beautiful race, Nathan. Once again, man, congratulations on a P2.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch it back, not just for me. It's also always good, because we're like tuned into like what we're doing, but then you can't sit back and watch what everyone else did. So it's really good.
There's plenty of drama out there, mate. For sure. Behind you, there was plenty going on. So, look, you enjoy it. Thanks for the chat, Nathan.
Thanks, boys.
All right. Cheers, mate. All right. So that was Nathan Bewley from P2. Cometh the man. And I tell you what, this guy put on a hell of a show. And he's another one that's no stranger to us. Obviously, the top end of the championship, these boys are battling it out. And this worked particularly well for Matty Clark tonight, chasing down Nathan Bewley for that top spot in the championship. Matty Clark, what a drive. Talk to us about that, mate. The highs and lows, the scary moments for the talk of the Aston.
I'm assuming you saw the scary moment on like corner 3 on lap 1.
Yes, yes, we did. Yes.
I was very worried that I'd ended my race immediately. Oh, yeah. God.
Hey, look, so obviously, talk to us about the start of that one. Obviously, you got a good start, took off, had that little bit of a moment there, and then anyway, set to it, and looked like, for the first 2 laps, you and Bewley certainly running out there really, really hard and strong. And then it just looked like in the early phase there that he just pulled away a little bit, and then we questioned you wound him back in, and then we saw how strong the car was through turns 2, 3, all the way up to turn 7 through that roller coaster, that whole Maggots Beckett style thing. But then the car looked a little bit nervous there too, Matty. So talk to us about the phasing of the tyre through that phase of the race. Was it the tyre just coming back in, or you finding your rhythm?
So a bit of both, I think. The tyres here do a really interesting thing, which feels really unique compared to every other track I've driven in this game, which is after you reach like 10% wear, it feels like they drop off a cliff. You have like a ton of grip for the first 10%, and then the moment it hits 89, it's the laziest car you've ever driven. And I think what happened was Bewley had more pace when the tyres had grip, but the moment it started to go, he was struggling a lot more, getting squirrely out of like corners, stuff like that. But yeah, the turn 9, the uphill left-hander, awful corner. Love it. I love it. Awful corner. The back of the car gets so light, and you have to be so gentle on the throttle. If you apply too much steering angle, you would have seen I ran wide at one point. I don't know. Well, you might not have seen it, but yeah, that's tough. It felt like I had more confidence under brakes, especially into 12. I felt like I was making 2 to 3 tenths every lap into 12, just hard on the brakes. But I'm honestly a little bit sad that he spun, because I feel like you guys were robbed of a dogfight, because we had a race literally last night where he and I were both present as practice, and it was like wheel to wheel every few laps. So I was quite disappointed when that happened. Obviously, happy with the win, but yeah, I was looking forward to a much more aggressive.
Yeah, it's an interesting piece of race that you talk about there, where he did go round 2, because I believe that was turn 13, 14, the right hand towards heading towards sector 3. Now, we saw multiple times, and you'll pick up on the stream that the cars, if you run the outside line there, which leaves you vulnerable to somebody cutting down underneath you, given the fact that it does go right, and then there's a hairpin left, it still gives you rights to that left-hander if you do run out wide. But the option there for multiple guys tonight to tuck the car down on the inside and try and accelerate hard and square that corner off, and it didn't seem to work. Didn't look like the rubber was down on the inside there. We saw, I think, Nick Firth have a half lose there. We obviously saw Bewley go around there. We saw multiple people having issues there. So it looked like there wasn't quite the grip down there But is it, like anyone that's run Cota for long enough knows that, in certain scenarios, it's not a bad option to do an undercut, an over-under if you've gone wide in and then cut back down. He didn't need to do that at the time. And I thought you did a particularly good job, Matty, of avoiding tagging him. And I did see the stutter on the throttle and maybe a dab on the brake just to clear him as he was going around. So I thought there was a lot of respect there and you did a good job. However, talk to us about, there's a couple of things I want to ask you about, and it was... it looks to be the Aston sounds lazy, and I'll pick on the final turn 20 on the way out of there. You're coming out of their second gear. It sounds like the thing's absolutely choke lazy coming out of there.
Idling.
So begs the question, does it have a big torque curve down low? Because there was a few Aston drivers looking like they were struggling with that power delivery down low tonight.
I hate that I can't answer that question for you, J-Man. I honestly am too dumb when it comes to car stuff like that, which I know might sound funny, but I actually don't know if it has a low torque curve or not. I found that it felt decently fast through 20, but that might just be that I had a decent line more so than the power delivery, because compared to the Porsche having a lot of weight on the rear, it definitely gets the power down better out of the corners.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I wish I could answer that, but I really am kind of stupid when it comes to actual.
No.
You just race them, mate. You don't have to know what they do.
I guess that the audio doesn't match the visual sometimes. You say you're fast out of there, and I'm no doubt based on the fact that you banked a 207.83 out there in race trim, that the car is fast everywhere. So I'm not doubting the speed it's coming off the corner. It sounds lazy, and I just wondered whether guys were struggling with that.
I have a feeling it's actually faster to be in first out of there, but it's such if you punch the throttle too much, you can spin it corner, that I would never risk being in first in there personally. That's probably what's happening to some degree, is it's probably going to be faster to actually be in first gear, but man, I would be terrified.
Yeah, and I guess so. I asked the other drivers before you in here, and it was the first time we've seen it this season. And I was quite surprised for such a big lap and such a high throttle percentage lap. But the virtual energy, now, I saw you come in with about 1.1, 1.2% by my calculations when you headed in. But you guys went incredibly deep into the race. And I asked the question to the two drivers before you, was there an option, maybe not for you leading the race, but I said to Bewley, he was around about in the same manufacturer, he was around about 3% better off than Gunther Rowe. Was there an option to, given that you had a 10-second gap too, Matty, was there an option to make energy or preserve energy and maybe back out of it to, because you're only a couple laps short, mate. So
yeah, to go a no stop. I definitely thought about it. I don't know if you could or not. If you lifted and coasted the whole race, maybe. I think what causes it to be like able to go really long is actually the first sector, because you're off throttle a ton in the first sector and a half through the S's into up and over the crest down to 11. So I think that lap after lap really extends how much VE you have compared to a lot of tracks. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because you do carry half throttle through that, but ironically, your throttle trace, when you leave turn 1, Matty, your throttle trace is 100% until you get to turn 4. You are 100% through out of 2, down through 3, and then into 4, and then you roll out of it, and then it's literally you're tippy-toeing on change of direction.
I don't agree with that. Maybe on a full push lap, but I don't know if the data's wrong unless that's like at pushing at my absolute limit, because I'm rolling before I get to 3 of most laps.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes half a little bit longer, and then halfway between 3 and 4 is when I tap the brake.
Yep.
But yeah, like as soon as I saw when Bewley had the second spin and I saw the gap jump to like 9 seconds, and I really started to
rolled out of it.
Watch my pace. Most laps I was rolling pretty early, because you don't lose a lot of time doing it, but obviously when you're pushing, you're gonna keep it.
Yeah, 100%. I did see you have a couple of scary little slides actually off of 20 late in the piece there. So, but no, hey, look, super measured drive, and I'm not sure what the margin was, whether it was, what were we talking, Davo? First to second, was it 55 or 65 points, something like that? 1455 plays 1390. So I'm not sure what it takes for a win, but I tell you what, you've just closed the gap a little bit more.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be tough in the back half of the season, but I'm going to do my best.
yeah.
Go for it.
Who was it? Was it you that last week downplaying this championship, Matty? The stakes are heating up now. So
if it's one of the two of us, I'd say it's Bewley. I think
maybe
I'm more
it was Bewley
in the
downplaying
championship.
it. Yeah. But hey, look, it's ramping up, and hell of a victory tonight, mate. And
Thanks, boy.
that one will go down as one of the better ones too, because mate, you had to earn that at the start, and the pace that Bewley was running, you still had to be there. And I think even after that first spin, I don't know if you noticed, 4.5 seconds was the margin, and he pulled
it down.
And he pulled it back down, and you held your nerve, and then obviously made that second one. But look, it was all you tonight, mate. So well done, congratulations on P1 at round 6.
I honestly really thought I'd thrown away the chance for a win when he was pulling away early, because I dropped 2/10. I was up 2/10 on my delta on my final quali lap. And so when I ended up P2 and then he was walking away, I was like, oh man, have I thrown this away in quali? But it came back to me. So
Go, yeah, mate.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the broadcast back, mate, because there's plenty going on behind you. And no doubt, I'm under no illusion we'll be talking to you again this time next week, Matty.
Spa is my favourite track in the world, so if you're not, I'll be quite upset.
All right, you heard it here first. All right, I'll save you a cheer, Matty. Well done. Thanks for the chat, mate.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good night.
Cheers, buddy.
Matthew Clark.
That is Matty Clark from P1. David, what a stunning race. Hell of a race, Chick. You can see the graphic up there. They are heading to Spa. I tell you what, they've left all the big tracks for the back end. Spa, Imola, Interlagos, Qatar. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Make sure you tune in.
Yep. Definitely, J-Man. And look, that's yes, only round 6. So still another 4 rounds yet to run in Rainlight Racing's 2025 Season 9 LMU Series. Proudly brought to you again by SIMBLACKS with some awesome prizes and broadcast live on MatchFit. Cracking a race, J-Man. Spa will be good next week. Definitely looking forward to that.
It'll be full of action-packed drama, I'm sure of it. The Rouge. Just to name the first one.
Just to kick things off.
Two guys at a Rouge.
T1. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a great track, great to call, great to watch, and so look forward to that. Yes, please stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you viewers for joining us once again tonight. Hit the like and subscribe button before you go anywhere. Don't forget about tuning in, because at the end of the season, SIMBLACKS is giving away a haptics kit. And while you're at it, why don't you follow Rainlight Racing on their Insta, support them on their socials, peeps, and keep up with everything going on Rainlight Racing. That's a wrap for tonight, J-Man. Thanks for joining me again.
Thank you.
Great call. And we look forward to seeing you guys all again next week. Thank you very much. Bye for now.